we are looking at Seiunchin combinations. So from the starting position, we step into a long stance, not a 45-degree stance, a long stance going straight forward. From the right leg in front, long stance, we drop into Shikudachi. We bring the arms around, pull in, then pull down. When the arms are straight, not halfway bent, completely straight, you pull your shoulder blades back. Then your front hand lifts up. All you do from that position, do not bring the hand in and slap out. There's no point behind that. Just pick it up. Your other hand, cut across the stomach. So just pull the hand in. Then catch, pull back, and stab. And then we do another straightforward Zenkutsudachi. Long stance, going straight forward. We drop from there into Shikudachi. Our hands are out. We scoop up, we pull in, we pull down, arms are straight, and pull the shoulder blades back. Pick the front hand up, cut with the other hand, catch, pull back, and stab. And we do it again. We step, we drop, hands go out. We scoop up, we pull in, we pull down, and we tear apart. Then we lift up, and we cut, catch, pull and stab. Right. So, depending on the size of venue you've got, keep moving forward, only doing that combination. Now let's look at the timing for that combination. So from here, ich, ni, som, ich, ni, som, ich, ni, som. So what I suggest, pause the video, go focus on that combination. If you really get stuck with the arms, look at last week's videos where I stood in shoulder width stance and we just worked on how the arms work. Once you've got it, come back for the next one. Our next combination, we're at the end of the 3 steps we just did in the previous clip. So from here, your right hand, make a fist. So your right hand becomes a fist and you place that fist onto your left palm. And your right foot, which is currently in front, is going to pull into a short stance. So you're going to pull your front leg, your right leg, into short stance. And at the very same time, your hands rotate. The same movement you do at the end of your katas. Yoi, pull. But instead of going straight down, you stop at your solar plexus. From there, you slide forward and you press. Then you slide back. Now, first thing, notice the press here. It is in line with my solar plexus. I'm not stretching out. I'm not trying to be Superman here. You pull your lats down, you pull your elbows in, and your fist should be more or less in line with your own solar plexus. So this is where you've now pressed, right hand fist, left hand open. Then you step back. And as you step back, your right hand pulls back, but your left hand doesn't move. Once you've stepped, your right elbow just heads into the left palm. So let's do that movement again. We're in Shikudachi. We finish the last of the 3 steps forward. Right hand becomes a fist. Pull the foot in. Turn the hands around. My left palm is now pressing against my right thumb. I slide forward, keeping right leg in front. Push. Then step back and pull back. And then elbow. Let's look at that again, but this time side on. So right leg is in front in Shikudachi. My right hand becomes a fist. I pull into short stance. Turn my hands around. Slide forward, do not change legs. Push in line with your own solar plexus. Stay back, pull back, and elbow. Right, now once you've got that combination, let's look at the timing for it. So, right leg in front, Shikudachi, right hand becomes a fist. So from this position here, you kind of breathe in. Knee. Let's do it again. Ich, knee, som. Let's look at it again. Last time. Ich, knee, som. time on that combination, then come back for the next one. So now we are left leg in front, right elbow. This is where we stopped the previous exercise. Now we're going to move at a 45-degree angle. So if you're standing like this here, what I want you to do, draw a cross on the floor, a vertical line and a horizontal line. And I want you to stand in the middle of that line. So what I want you to see now, you've got a right corner and a left corner. You've got straight forward and you've got your sides. And these are the angles that your cutter is going to move at. So if we find ourselves with the left leg in front, right elbow, our first movement now, relative to the front, is to move at a 45-degree angle there. I'm going to go from the front with the right leg to the right corner. Listen again, right leg to the right corner. At the same time, my right hand does a chest block and my left hand slides up the arm to the little finger. So we ended the previous combination with the left hand on the elbow here. I step right leg to right corner and I slide the left hand up. My right hand becomes a chest block. Do it again. 1. Then from there we are stepping towards the right corner. We're stepping forward and then we drop. And then we're stepping back. But now watch, I didn't swing into a shikudachi. I stepped feet in line. At this point, my body is still facing to that right corner. And from there I drop and I do the block. Now let's go in the other direction. So, left leg goes to left corner. Left hand does the chest block. And the right hand performs the supporting action here and slides up. Then I'm stepping right leg forward to the left corner and right hand does a stomach block and I'm stepping back. Again, notice my body is still facing that corner and left hand blocks stomach. So let's do this again. Step by step. Left leg in front, right elbow. Right leg steps to right corner. Left hand slides up, right hand blocks chest. Left leg step, I have not turned my hips yet. Now I turn my hips. Then left leg steps, I have not turned my hips. Now I turn my hips. Left leg steps to left corner. Left hand blocks chest, right hand slides up. Right leg step to the corner. Again, notice the hips have not turned yet. Now the hips turn with the right hand stomach block. Right leg step back. And left hand block. So that's the combination. Let's do the timing. Left leg in front, right hand elbow, H, knee, sock, H, knee, sock. We do that again. H, knee, sock, H, knee, sock. Right, again, spend some time on this, then come back to the next one. Our next exercise, we're looking at the Haryuken. So, for this one, again, I think it's easier if I do the exercises side on. That way you can follow along. So, we're facing in that direction. So, our previous exercise ended with us in a 45-degree line towards the left corner. So remember what I said, draw your vertical line, draw your horizontal line, there's your left corner, there's your right corner, all relative to the front. So, relative to this front line here, we were standing in a 45-degree angle with the left hand out. Now what we're going to do, we're going to step straight onto this vertical line. So from here, left foot comes in. Then left foot steps as if I'm on a tightrope, straight back on that line. My right hand blocks in, my left hand goes up, my right hand goes down. Then my right leg steps on a tightrope, so I'm not stepping out. I'm sticking to this vertical line. Left hand in, right hand up, left hand down. So let's do that again. Place your right foot exactly where the two lines cross. In a line towards your left corner, left hand out block stomach. Left foot step on the line, right hand block in, left hand up, right hand down. Right leg steps back, left hand in, right hand up, left hand down. So those are the technical movements. Now let's look at the timing. So from here, don't rush. H. Perform it with some breathing. Knee. Let's look at it again. Last time. Breathe. Imagine you're doing breathing kata here. H. Knee. Right. Once you've got that, come back to the next exercise. So our next movement in the kata is done from our shikudachi. Again, we're more or less facing the left corner. No, I'm lying. What the fuck am I doing? So let's get to the next exercise. So we ended the previous exercise on the vertical line in a shikudachi with the left hand down and the right hand up. Now from here we are moving straight forward again. So we're going to turn the left foot and the right foot steps as if I'm kicking something. So I want you to imagine with the shin you're impacting something. It's not just putting the foot there. Really drag that hip up and with the hip lock that leg in place. The right leg should go forward. At the same time that you put your leg in front, your right hand becomes a fist, your elbow into your open hand. Fingers up. Here. Right, now from this position, sweep. So I've seen people do some funny stuff here. It's a very simple idea. There's a leg in front of you, sweep the leg. Very simple. So my foot goes from outside to inside, and then I need to catch my balance as I off balance and push my opponent. So don't make it complicated. Right leg's in front. There's a foot in between your feet. Take your right foot, sweep that foot, then bring the foot back to shoulder width position and slide forward. And at the same time, hit the guy on the nose. Following the principle of attacking high and attacking low. So I'm sweeping the foot and I'm hitting the nose. So let's go back to shikudachi again. We step, we hit, we sweep, we hit. Let's do it again. From this position, step, hit, sweep, hit. Right, so those are the basic movements. Once again, let's look at timing. So, go down into shikudachi and H, knee. So you can see it's quite an explosive movement. Let's do it again. H, knee. Last time. H, knee. Right. Again, spend some time on this. A lot of people do get stuck with a sweep. Make sure you understand it. An idea that you could use is take some object to make it less abstract and put that object on that center line here. And standing in Seiunchin with the right leg in front, you need to sweep this object. So if you're going to swing your leg the wrong way around, it's not going to work. You're going to sweep and move forward. So you want to, whatever this is, soccer ball or whatever, sweep it out the way and move forward on that center line. Just an idea. Right, so our previous combination ended with us having right leg in front, striking and hitting on the nose. Now we need to do what I think from a teaching point of view, is the most difficult thing for students to understand, because the feet, if they're not taught perfectly in the beginning, it becomes really confusing. So what I want you to do is, again, use this center line here, and we're going to put our left foot where the horizontal line crosses that line. Right foot in front. So the left foot's toes on that cross point there. Right foot in the top right corner of these Emerson lines, basically, that we've drawn. So first put the hands on the hips. When you step across, the mistake people make is they're taking the whole foot and they're stepping into the left block, and they turn and they don't understand why their feet are now wrong, and they don't understand how to position themselves. So let's keep it very simple. Right foot in the top right corner. Don't completely cross the vertical line. So when I'm stepping, my toes are going to go on that vertical line, like a weird cat stance. So from that position, toes go on the line. And now from that line, I just turn my heel out. My heel goes into the left corner, but my toes are now on the same line as my left foot. So first understand that. The right leg steps across, and the toes, put the foot on the line, like you're walking a tightrope, and turn the heel to the left corner. Heel on that side, toes on the line. If you've got that and you now stay on the toes when you turn, you should be in the perfect Seiunchin towards the back left corner. So one more time, let's look at that. We're standing in Seiunchin. Do not put the toes in the left block. Put the toes on the line. Put the heel in the left block. Drop the hips. Now once you're here to know where your arms go, the leg that is in front, that hand goes on the shoulder. Just remember that. The leg that is in front goes on the shoulder, the other one goes under the armpit. As simple as that. Finish your turn. And then remember, the bottom hand goes up. The top hand pulls down. So let's look at that again. My hands are right hand, first left hand open. I step across. My toes are on the vertical line. I turn. As I'm turning, my hands go, leg in front, hand on the shoulder, the leg behind, hand under the armpit. I turn. I block up and down. And then from here, we step, we press, uppercut, nose, block, step back, and block. I don't think that part's very complicated. Let's do that again. From here, step across. 1, cover 2, turn 3, block 4, step 5, uppercut, hit the nose, block stomach, step back, and block. Right, so we've really gone into detail with this movement. Now let's do the timing for it. So from this position, remember this part, very low, you're dropping into the ground. Now as you turn, you're going to do the block. Ni, song, shi. Right, let's look at it again. Ni, song, shi. Last time. Ni, song, shi. Okay, I think that probably is the most complicated part in Seiunchin Kata. Practice that a while, then come back to the next move. Right, our next movement in Seiunchin Kata, we have just completed the uppercut with the right hand and the stomach block with the left hand. So we end up more or less moving our energy towards the top right corner. So from this position, left hand out, stomach block, we're in Shikurach, we're going to pull the front foot onto the line. Now, it's very important that you notice Seiunchin from wide open stances tend to quickly contract back to the center line. And from a grappling point of view, that's very, very important. So You cannot stay in the wide position for too long, but you need them for stability, but you need to be able to contract back to the center and then expand again. So it's a continuous contracting and expanding kata. So let's start from the wide stance, left hand out. We pull the right foot into cat stance, left arm comes up, the leg that's in front, that arm goes to the top, and we do 2 elbows, we step back, we open up, the leg that's in front, that arm goes on top, 2 elbows, right. So the stance is relatively easy. You've got to understand you're walking on the center line. The 2 elbows are important. The feeling you have is that you are ripping something apart with your hands, although that's not what you're doing, but it's a nice way to activate the correct muscles. So you are pulling the shoulder blades back and you feel as if you are tearing something apart here. So what are we doing? We are elbowing back, that's one option, and we're elbowing forward. So from a very basic kung fu movie type of outlook, we're doing 2 elbows to 2 various opponents. What you are actually doing is you are grabbing a hold of an arm and pulling that in, while the other arm is elbowing. So I am pulling my opponent and driving the elbow into their face or throat or sternum, depending on how big they are. So, but that's why it's important that one arm is pulling and one arm is pushing. So let's get back to our shibirach. We pull the right foot on the line, we bring the left arm up, we put the right hand on top. And now imagine I'm holding my opponent with the left arm. I'm pulling my opponent in as I'm striking my elbow out. I move back, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I open the arm up, put the other arm on top. More or less I'm covering. I grab my opponent, I pull my opponent in, I drive my elbow forward. So let's just take it from the cat stance. Left foot behind, right foot front, right hand on top, pull my opponent in, press my elbow out. Step back, right hand open, left hand on top, pull the elbow back or pull my opponent to me, press the elbow forward against them. Now let's look at the timing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, because this combination happens again later on in the kata, we're just going to finish it now. So we're going to do a couple of steps backwards. So let's start at the end of the line here, right foot on top, right elbow out, left elbow pull back. So we're going to move 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. And we just turn around, we do it again. So right elbow out, left elbow pull, 1, remember leg in front and on top, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Right, those are the movements. Let's look at the timing. So we're at the end of the vertical line here, right foot in front, right elbow out. Let's do it on timing. Ich, ni, som. Turn around, do it again. Ich, ni, som. Right, spend some time on that. Right, so now we've worked on our step across turn to the left, and we've worked on the 2 elbow strikes. Now we need to link that to our step across to the right. So that combination starts from a left leg in front cat stance. So now the same as when we were standing in a short stance and when you had to step across, toes in line with toes, heel into the left block, so that you can properly turn into a Seiunchin to your left. We also have to look at how to turn to the right. And since we're in a cat stance, the foot is already in position. So from the short stance to the other side, we had to bring the foot into a cat stance. But from the relative cat stance, just foot in line with the other foot. But for this one, we're already in a cat stance. So all you've got to remember here, keep the toes where they are. Do not shift the foot. And just drop the heel into the top right corner. So from here, as I'm in a left leg in front cat stance, I just turn the heel out to be in the top right corner, and then from here we are turning on the feet. We're in Seiunchin and we're facing the right bottom corner. So from here again, we're in cat stance. We just did the 2 elbows. We drop the heel. We keep the toes where it is, and we're going to turn and we're going to do our block. So just to recap how to do the block, remember the leg that's in front, that hand goes onto the shoulder. The leg that's behind, that hand goes under the armpit. Then we turn, the bottom hand goes up, the top hand goes down. So just keep that in mind. Mirror image of what we did to the other side. So we're in cat stance. We've done our 2 elbows. Shift the foot. As we turn, we cover. Once we've turned, we block down and up. We step with the back leg forward. We press. We uppercut. Hit. Block. Step back. Block. Right, so let's do that one more time step by step, and then we look at timing. So we're in cat stance, left elbow in front, turn the heel. As we turn, we cover, we block down and up. Then we step and we press with the right hand, we uppercut with the left, we hit the face, we block stomach, we step back, and we block stomach. Keep in mind, just something to think about, when I say block stomach, this is just an easy way to explain. It more or less looks like that movement that as a white belt you learn as a stomach block. But this is not a block. This is a manipulation. Could be I'm uppercutting and I'm pulling my opponent's head down. I'm uppercutting, I'm striking the groin, moving out the way. But it's not, I'm uppercutting the person and then for some reason they kick at me and then I block stomach. That's not going to work. So understand, when I say block stomach, it doesn't mean necessarily a stomach block with the purpose of blocking or deflecting something. Right. So let's look at the timing. We're in cat stance. H, knee, som. Let's look at it again. H, knee, som. Last time. H, knee, som. Right. Now after that, it's just the 2 cat stances again. If you need to see how they're done, go back to the previous section of this video and practice them again for a while. Right, now let's look at the ending of Seiunchin kata. So for the ending of the kata, we end up in a right leg in front cat stance, right elbow forward, left elbow back. The movement, we're sliding the right leg forward into Seiunchin. The left hand brushes past the tip of the right elbow, and it continues from that tip of the elbow to the solar plexus. So it makes a circle. It goes past the elbow and to the solar plexus. At the same time, the right hand is striking a back fist strike at the face. Then I'm stepping back. The hands go out. Now, try and understand. It's not stick the hands out and then move back. Think of it more as the hand, my right hand, stays in that point in space where it was. As my body goes back, my hand stays in place. So as I'm here, hand stays, I stretch out, pull into left leg forward cat stance, elbows touch, fingertips touch, and remember in line with your solar plexus, down and finish. So let's do that again one more time step by step. From here, hand touches the elbow, I slide forward into right leg forward Seiunchin, I touch my solar plexus, I strike a back fist to the face, then I step long back, the arms stretch out, I pull, then elbows touch, fingertips touch, then down, then finish. Now let's look at timing. So, right foot in front, elbow out, H, ni, som, shi. Let's look at that again. H, ni, som, shi. Right, and that is it for Seiunchin. Spend some time on these combinations, and next week we put the whole kata together.